Wow. And today we're playing Light My Way. We're going to start chapter 5. Another morning with the same headache and that smell. It's familiar somehow. Where? I'm safe, I'm alive. I'm me again. Asta told me everything about the scroll, but I don't want to talk about that right now. We've been jumping from left to right since he showed up for that eye examination. Looking back, it was such a dumb decision and unleashed so much chaos on everything around me. I rise from my bed, clutching the covers against my chest. It's as if to shield myself from the bad decision I made and now regret with each sentence a jaguar is forcing on me. Wait a second. Is he completely ignoring my full-on meltdown? We would have noticed you sooner or later. It was fortunate that you stood up by yourself, though. Not as good what happened next, but we're getting a handle on things, I bet. Not as fast as we should have. Where am I? My throat's dry, voice raspy from not drinking enough water. Kind of funny considering I've always avoided carrying a water bottle. I still need a drink, though. There must be something around here. Miss Fulgence notices my obvious need for hydration, and I hear the click of a bottle being opened. She passes me the water while continuing with the conversation. This is a safe ring. It was designed to keep anyone in the university safe in case of emergency. The specific room we are in is meant to hold the ones who might want to harm themselves or others because of stress, anxiety, panic. It's a sad necessity in our world of complexities and unseen burdens. Aren't you scared of me? Is that what you think? If there's something I feel around you, it's pity. You're just a young soul caught in a storm far beyond your years. Regardless of Aster's lack of diplomacy, ruffling through my archives, I don't think he did a great job finding this piece of information that can further help us unravel this entire mess we're in. If you're at the center of it for now, her voice sparks a glimmer of hope in me. The roller coaster ride is coming to an end and I'm safe now. She doesn't see me as a threat and I'm in a place where I can't harm anyone. This is good. Your outburst in Mr. Clare's office was a sign of mental stability, although Asta swears there's nothing wrong with you at a fundamental psychological level. He tested you multiple times when you were asleep. Didn't I try to harm all of you? Harm us? I doubt you could. You were scratching the walls a bit. You were certainly out of it. Asta said you crumbled under the pressure you were on. We did have to restrain you and eventually sedate you since you weren't responding to any of our calls. That is the extent of what happened. The jaguar tilts her head towards me, her look of pity growing a knot in my stomach. It's clear that she sees me as nothing more than a child who's in the wrong place at a long time. It was all just in my head then. Oh, thank you, the further one. Whatever this voice in my head is, someone will figure it out. You sure about that? Can I please have another sedative? I think I said sleep more to recover. What you need is food. Mr. Cliff brought some, but it has since gone cold. You'll have to snack on those for now, but I'll tell him to show up soon enough to check on you and bring you anything else you might need. She turns around and toward the door. Her tail gives away her uneasiness about this whole situation. It's a subtle sign, but I can only take it as hesitation about leaving me alone again. Keep your head up, Mr. Volpez. We're on the same side here. Yes, we are. Same side, ha. I give a silent nod, not wanting to speak another word, fearing what the unpredictable voice might maybe say or do again. The door closes behind Miss Refulgence. The steps she takes now fade into the distance that's around me. My stomach urges me to look around for the food I was told would be waiting for me. There's a good selection here. Kieran took the time to get me one of everything. I need some meat, though. Juicy meat. It's talking to me again, but my exhaustion dulls the impact it had on me a moment ago. I'm too tired and my need to eat is overwhelming the voices' taunts, frightening as they may be. Whatever it wants, it needs to wait until I'm finished with my meal. I take out the small packages from the bag lying on the table, my paws scrambling to open the first one I can smell has meat inside. The taste fills my mouth and I let out a gratifying moan. I picked out the pack that was at the bottom of the bag since it's the warmest one out of all of them. The food's colorful texture and the softness of the lab meat at Tiernan is as excellent as it has been from my first day here. The salty taste with a bit of the trademark sweet sour sauce from the Cali Airware complements my much needed nourishment. It's good to eat again, sitting in silence, a throwback to when I was in high school. Eating alone was my normal, but I decided then that I should enjoy my food to the fullest instead of expecting it to taste better because of having company. Alice didn't eat with me at school. Our silent agreement was that he would look after me to protect me from being bullied. That's the extent of our relationship was in those days, until more recent times where we. I wonder how he's doing. Does he know I've been missing for days? I don't know if he remembers seeing me at the office one day questioning him about his sacred garden. He's doing all right. I'm sure he always manages. I've been chopping down everything in the back, Kieran. You're a star. Thanks for letting me eat without messing with me. I need a new approach to this voice. Get more strategic about handling it. If I keep getting freaked out about it, there'll be no end in sight. It's getting power over me, and it knows it. I need to break out of the cycle somehow without arousing suspicion. Food is sacred, but wouldn't you? I prefer to get the real thing. You mean real meat? It's what you build for. Why though? I mean, why should I get real meat when there's better lab meat? What kind of carnivore are you? I'm an omnivore who eats lab meat because it's wrong to eat other folk. And besides, lab meat is packed with way more nutrients than real meat ever was. Are you sure about that? They told you these lies to stop you from reaching your true potential. Fearful, petty creatures that they are. How do you know what real meat is if you've never had it? I don't need to try it to know it's wrong, and I don't agree with you on anything you might have to say. I've been wanting this to happen, to be honest, to talk to it. I need to know what happened back in Kieran's office. Why did you mess with me in the office? Why not? I didn't do anything to you. Why are you trying to hurt me? Nothing's fair in life, is it? Get out of my head. Ha! I'll get rid of you one way or another, I swear it. We'll see about that. Sincere, sweet silence. Sweet silence. It's a welcome reprieve. A nap sounds perfect right now. Maybe even a longer nap. The last thing this voice said, though, that was a threat, and a real angry one at that. But I'm much too tired to think about that now, and that bed looks mighty good right now. This mattress is so comfortable. I let my eyes close for a second. The rhythmic clacking of hooves on the hardwood floor wakes me up. Each tap I hear is echoing like a countdown timer in my groggy mind. I give out a wide yawn, looking around for the source of the noise. James has a bag in his paw, unsure what to do with it. He's smiling at my muffled out fur like my move out fur that I tried to smooth out with my paws once I realized I must have fallen asleep in an awkward position. I could smell the contents of the bag the zebra is holding even from here, and my stomach doesn't sigh away from grumbling with expectation. It's been a relentless few days, and I realize more than ever that my body needs an energy source for me to stay relatively fit during this entire madness. Good morning, Lucian. I brought you some food. Evening. You've been out for a day and a half. A day and a half? You weren't sure what was happening, but Ansel assured us you were resting. That ego keeps plucking at my thoughts when I'm out cold. It's like he's spying on me, wandering through the corridors of my mind without my say-so. And yet, I recognize the irony of it. I do something similar all the time when I see other folks' aspects. There's a guilt again that I've been experiencing since this whole mess happened. What does feeling guilty about everything do for me now? This is my new reality, so I should accept it as it is. At least I should have enough decency to feel guilty. I think my parents would be proud of me, all things considered. How are Fabi and Darius? As the door swings open once more, the figures of the eagle and the jaguar stride into the room, their presence commanding immediate attention. Kieran lingers for a moment, standing right behind them, trying to catch my gaze. He smiles at me with encouragement when our eyes meet, which brightens the mood even if just by the tiniest bit. He flashes me 2 thumbs up, a silent gesture of support, maybe before closing the door with a soft click, leaving me with the 3 imposing teachers. Mr. Gennaro and Mr. Flytros are healthy from a medical standpoint. What concerns us is the jaguar's words seem to hang in the air, unfinished as if they've become tangled in her throat. The uncomfortable silence settles over the room as I await her response. The eagle and the zebra, standing to her sides, exchange quick, unreadable glances but remain silent. It's as if they are caught in a delicate balance, unsure whether to continue the jaguar's last sentence or not. The tension is almost palpable, with each of them holding back words that hover beneath the surface of their tongues. Mr. Fulgence decides to take charge of the situation again. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it looks like you've created equalizers out of both your colleagues. No. The realization hits me like a punch to the gut. I pull both of my friends into the heart of this chaos, this unpredictable storm that's become my life. It's like I've opened a door they never even knew existed, and now they're trapped in this whirlwind with me. The weight of responsibility, the guilt having entangled their fates with me. This is so wild. There has to be a mistake. I couldn't have done that. No, you're wrong. Go check them again. I'm sure you didn't see things clearly. But I know she can't be mistaken. I know that if she said it, it must be so. She's not wrong ever. They were looking out for me, and what did I do to them? If it makes you feel any better, we believe they were on their way to becoming equalizers anyway. Both have a natural inclination towards what we explain equalizing means. Darius is quite adept at reason and logic. He can assess a situation much faster than what others might perceive as normal. If we notice that about him, I find it impressive. He's promising. The rabbit, on the other hand, the bubble of hope I had gets popped by the zebra's interjection, but Fabian's tough. He's tough. He has to be tough. Please be tough. Is Fabian okay? Yes. He has recovered. It's harder on him since he has to equalize things like anger, hate, fear. At least he's not in danger anymore. That's a relief. We all shift our looks towards Miss Fulgence as if the only folk here who could make sense of Fabian's her. Maybe she is. It's not like any of us understand what true fear is. Meanwhile, she wills it as if its basic cutlery at the dinner table. It doesn't make him bad folk because he has to deal with this. We don't get to choose our aspects. It's not easy, but at least he's not a child going through it alone. The subtle shift in her tone isn't lost on me. She's no longer just referring to Fabian. My mind is playing detective as I piece together the hints in her words. Was she alone when her aspect first emerged? Was she a child too? I can relate to the fear and confusion in that moment, the overwhelming sense of being lost. And something much bigger than yourself. But her battle was with shadows darker than most of us could ever handle. Hate, anger, dread, these are emotions that can consume you whole. Most of all, a little girl. I can recall my own struggles and days when my emotions felt like an endless, turbulent sea. She must have had a mountain to climb, and while I was admittedly fighting off my own waves of uncertainty, I was cruising through my ocean in comparison to her vertical climb up a steep mountain. Your encounter in my office with both your friends has quickened their process of becoming equalizers. This is news to us, so they'll join you here for a while to be monitored as well in case there are unforeseen side effects. My smile breaks through, a clear relief that's impossible to mask. That's what Kieran was on about. My gnawing doubt tugs at my heart. What if Darius and Fabian resent me for this? The thought is a cold splash of reality, and never intended to thrust them into this chaos. Elsa did mention they were on their own path to becoming equalizers, but that doesn't make the burden of my role as a forceful enabler any less crushing. It's fine. I gave them a tiny nudge, but then again, do they hate me? We'll explain the situation. They're aware that sooner or later they will have to become equalizers. That doesn't mean they are happy with it. Darius hasn't spoken a word since we told them what everything means. His dream of becoming a cardinal has now been pushed farther away, all because of me. He was struggling to keep up with his colleagues as it was, and now he's going to get locked up in here for who knows how long. I derailed his entire life, but he was going to be an equalizer. Yes, but when though? It could have been years, perhaps decades even. I don't know how this entire aspect thing works, but it could be possible we're all different after all. There they are. Kieran steps in with Darius and Fabian, who are looking around in awe, who prompts me to notice my surroundings as well. There are no windows, so we're either underground somewhere behind some trapdoor. The room has a feeling of old, but its walls look brand new. They have a sort of low frequency buzzing sound coming from them. Maybe it's to block out noise coming out of here. There's a clock on the wall telling us the time and a calendar to know the date. Either I didn't see the other two beds, or they might have brought them in when I was sleeping. They're the same type as the one from my dorm room. This is starting to look more and more like a prison now that I'm taking everything in. Since the madness is slowing down, we're going to take the time to get back to our classes for a while. We already put too much aside to this situation, and it's starting to impair our responsibilities as teachers. Are leaving? I feel my stomach growing knots as I look towards Astor and James. I need that zebra here to help me through this. His presence is nothing less than the safest of havens, an island in my unending ocean of uncertainties. We have to go back to our universities to set up classes and schedules for our links. But we'll be back soon for a more permanent stay. I suggest you take some time to talk to your friends about everything that went on, Mr. Cliffs. Mr. Cliffs will bring you food and whatever else you might need. You can contact me through this, talking this specific painting by pressing here. There's a microphone behind it that is linked to my office. Do not use it for any other reason than emergency. You hear what we're talking in here then? I don't have time to listen to your adolescent chit-chat. If there is anything you need to tell me, you should spit it out right now. Is this not serious enough for you to understand that there can be no more mishaps? I understand. So is there anything you need to tell me? Well, is there? No. Good. Then I will see you again soon. I'll bring you guys something nice from Fantulia. I'm sure what Biscore has to offer is of much better quality, so count on some gifts for me as well, said a quack. Is Strawberry upset now? I told you not to call me that in front of other students. You asked for it, you oaf. Their playful banter cast a brighter tone over the room. It's only for a moment. My gaze seals to Darius, already in his bed, turned away from us, a silent, solemn figure removing himself from the reality of everything around us. Fabian, on the other part, is eager to talk to me, brimming with eagerness. He's been tugging at my fur, trying to get my attention, although we should have listened more carefully to what Miss Revoltix was telling us. As the teachers and Kieran exit, the door shuts with finality, leaving us in a newfound solitude. Foxy, this is amazing. What? I'm a fucking equalizer. Whoa, your aspects, they're a lot. You can see all of them? I can see 5 or 6. They said you have 1,000. I guess 998 now. I gave you and Darius one of mine, or they ran away. I thank the third one for that. Why are you so excited about this, Fabian? This is bad. Bad? Why? Catherine told me I am out of the elite program. Catherine, you mean Miss Revoltix? Yeah, sure, whatever. But get this, I now get paid to be an equalizer. We all are. There's no need for me to train like crazy while my brothers and sisters back home can move here with me. This is the best outcome. This is the best possible outcome I could have ever hoped for. Thank you, Foxy. Thank you very much. He's almost euphoric. His eyes shining with joy. I haven't heard him talk so much in a single breath since I've known him. His aspect is excited, yet relaxed somehow. How can I even possibly begin to describe it? It still looks like it's a crazed beast waiting to go berserk, but calm enough to not give me the shivers when I look at it. Darius turns around from his bed, looking straight at Fabian, ignoring me altogether as if I'm a part of the furniture in the room. Why do you not tell me you have money problems, Fabian? I could have helped. I'm no beggar, D. I earn what I need. My elite status pay enough for me to send money back to my siblings. We weren't doing great for humanity. How many siblings do you have? 6. 4 little brothers and 2 little sisters. The youngest is 4. Your parents, are they helping out? They took off a long time ago. Both of them. We were 2 months to handle, I guess. So they just disappeared all of a sudden because that's what losers do. Anyway, 2 of my brothers work part-time jobs to help out, so we're doing good. How could you not tell me this? We're supposed to be friends. It's none of your concern. What goes on in my family is nobody's concern. Except for Miss Revoltix. She asked me a lot of questions when I woke up. She also told me other stuff after that. What kind of stuff? About her life. How it was mine. Some things about fear and anger you guys wouldn't understand. I would try to. What's your deal, D? We're friends and all, but I don't owe you shit. If I want to tell you something, I will. And if I don't, I don't. Why are you being like this? I want to help you. But I didn't ask for it. And why are you soaking in your bed like a dumb teenager? Your dad paid your way in. That's an advantage, not a drawback. James must have told him was only right that he now knows about his situation. That must have made things worse. He's unaware of his inabilities now. More than ever, he must feel like he doesn't belong here at all. Darius turns around Darius turns back around, faces the wall, as if there would be some sort of solace to be found there on this blank surface. You shouldn't feel bad about it, Darius. It's not like you did it on purpose, and if you had done it, it's not the worst folk do. You're not talking to me, Fox. You made me this thing. Now I need to give up everything. I worked for my entire life. Cool it, D. You heard him. You were going to be an equalizer sooner or later. Fox had made things move along faster. You started at school anyway. Now you get to study something nobody knows that much about. You're the same as everyone in this mess. Darius's ears perked up at what Fabian said, even if he didn't mean to. There's a change in his ruby voice from a second ago. Why are you on his side anyway? He almost killed us both. Did he really mean to do that? Did you, Fox? I'm taken back by the assumption that I would even dream of hurting them. I would even dream of hurting them on purpose, let alone kill them. But it's also a fair question at this point, I suppose, given the circumstances. Why would I want to ever do such a thing? You're my friends. See? You wouldn't hurt us. It's well being in the opposite corner from Darius. When I first met him, he was trying to smooth things out between Fabian and me. Now he seems confused. Now he seems consumed animosity towards me. Deep down, he must recognize I'm not entirely to blame, though, in the way I am, but not as he portrays it. Darius, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do anything to you or your Fabian. I'm cool with what went down. You should be too, D. Now you can make a name for yourself and stick it to your city dad. I told you about that in confidence. Foxy figured out by now, I'm sure. You told me he asked you about this stuff. Why are you being a little bitch about all this? Darius gets up from his bed, his nostrils flaring in an obvious display of anger. I'm sure Fabian's face will look the same in a few moments, judging by how Darius's aspect is acting as well. The huge, solemn lion has his mouth open, baring his teeth at the rabbit. Enough! His strong, robust sound makes the walls buzz with a hum. It's as I suspected. They're designed to contain any noise coming out from here. What a bitch you are, Fabian, for talking about my family and my problems after you said that your life is not my business. Yet here you are presenting my life like you know me well, like you know me all so well. Foxy figured it out by now, I'm sure. You told me he asked you about this stuff. Why are you being a little bitch about all this? Darius gets up from his bed, his nostrils flaring in an obvious display of anger. I'm unsure if Fabian's face will look the same in a few moments, judging by how Darius' aspect is acting as well. The huge southern lion has his mouth open, baring its teeth at the rabbit. Enough! His strong, robust sound makes the walls buzz with a hum. It's as I expected. They're designed to contain any noise coming out from here. What a bitch you are, Fabian, for talking about my family and my problems after you said that your life is done by business. Yet here you are presenting my life like you know me all so well. Well, will you hit me or are you just going to stand there looking like a twat? Up to now, I may have understood Fabian's intentions, but this I don't get. Antagonizing Darius right now is not only stupid but also cruel. There's nothing to gain from this. What is he thinking? You will not even want me to try your minuscule petty rodent. Fabian jumps at Darius, smacking him in the snout with a hard kick, a loud thud echoing in the room. The spirit which this happened took Darius and me by surprise. The lion's savage, thunderous roar reverberates inside of our small prison, forcing me to cover my ears. This can't be happening. I dash to the corner of the room next to a towering bookcase. Not that I would find anything useful to read right now. It's more about having something, anything to defend yourself with if needed. I don't know what's gotten into Fabian either, and I don't plan on asking him right this second. Darius charges forward, leaping in the air, mouth open, his massive teeth ready to sink into Fabian. Fast as suspended, the rabbit dodges to his left, turning around and kicking Darius in the snout again. The bluff agility coming from the rabbit, his crazed aspect is mesmerizing. The ruby-colored figure doesn't seem fazed by any of this. In fact, it almost looks like it's enjoying itself. The way it swirls around Fabian when he ducks and dives away, it's as if it's guiding its owner through all the needed motions. However, the rabbit's last escape wasn't as clean as he hoped it would be. Red velvet saw itself now trickling from Fabian's leg. Darius's claws were drenched in the same crimson color, their twisting movements signaling another incoming attack. I'm frozen inside, questioning my own inaction at the scene of what just unfolded before my eyes. What's wrong with me? What the fuck am I even doing hiding here? Stop, what the hell is going on? Why are you even fighting? Can you smell that? Both turn to me, faces etched with frenzy, gasping short deep breaths from the aftermath of the fight. He deserves being kicked in the snout. Seth done it the moment I met him to get his brain into the proper socket. Why didn't your daddy pay for you to go to Biscuit, huh? That's where real cardinals are made. Fabian, why are you being like this? Leave him alone already. The blood spoil is simmering down around us. Darius retracted his claws, tears now brimming in his eyes, while Fabian is trying to hide his retching. His troubling whiskers, though, give away the pain he's in. Whatever this is, it's over now. Why do you say such hurtful things, Fabian? Am I not your friend, your best friend? Who needs losing friends like you? That last jab was like a stake through the heart. The cruelty of the words sank into me like by proxy. Darius's tears intensifies to the point where his sobbing becomes an uncontrollable mass of slurred words, not managing to speak out full sentences through the tears and heavy breaths he's taking. The air around him is becoming thick with the anguish he must be feeling, his aspect now consoling Darius while snarling at Fabio. I wish I had never met garbage like you. That's horrible. Darius is over the edge now, lost beyond reason. He's trying to say something through the muddle of panic gasps and half-raised roars, but I can't understand a word of it. He's charged at Fabian once again. One paw curled into a fist, the other with its claws out ready to slash away at the rabbit's face. My breath is stuck in my chest, my heart throbbing against my ribcage, my eyes locked on the carnage that's about to unfold. I brace for a lethal impact. But that never comes. Darius's ferocious leaps and wide swipes don't connect with Fabian, who dances around the sluggish movements of the anguished lion. The clumsy, slashing pattern Darius is repeating takes its toll on him. He crumbles to the floor or on his knees, fatigue now taking over. Fabian closes his eyes and puts his arms out, reaching towards Darius, the crazed rabbit in following suit, exalted by what I think he's about to do. I am witnessing for the very first time Fabian's equalizing technique. The sharp, twisted edges of the purple lion begin to soothe and resaber to its original form. The angry glare fades, replaced by a sock of understanding, as if everything that is needed to know has been now revealed. Darius looks up from the ground, his eyes no longer lost in the overwhelming sadness we all saw them in minutes ago. Why do you hate me so much? I don't hate you. I need you to hate me. They're both crying. Their tears are stark contrast to raw fury and anger from moments ago. As soon as Fabian catches my stare, he stumbles with his paw over his face, smoothing out his fur and ears. They're at each other's throat because I got them in here. This is the result of my inability to get my shit together. I don't know what to even ask them, so I squeak out whatever comes to mind first. Are you guys okay now? We're fine. What's going on, Fabian? The rapper takes a step back and slumps in his bed, staring at the ceiling. He's weighing his words, I assume, but it also looks like he's catching his breath from the effort he had to put in with Darius. He may be fast, but Darius was right there with him, and the line had been in better shape I would have feared the outcome. She told me it would work. I thought she was messing with me, but she had no reason to lie, right? Who, Mr. Fawcett? Yes, she told me I have to do this to Darius. Do what? Because the only thing you have done is to be mean to me. She said my aspect is made of fear, hate, anger. Everything's quiet for a second. Darius catches his breath, and the thumps I had in my chest have now settled. Fabian's taking his time again, pondering how to explain best what's going on with him. Yeah, I have a connection to anger. Long story short, I need you to hate me so I can do my shit. In that word. What word? I am not done being angry with you. Well, it worked for me. I can sense your anger much better now. I also see how your aspect wants to whip my ears off. And yours look like it is the most horrid creature I have ever seen. Ouch. But you're right, it looks horrible. Fabian's aspect turns to him, his burrowed eyes and giant front teeth melting into a side expression as if asking to be pitied by its owner. I kind of feel for it, I bet, but Fabian goes on with his explanation, disregarding the aspect and its feelings, it seems. You couldn't hate me at all, D. When we were fighting. Best I got from you was some faint annoyance. You scratched my leg, you felt bad about it right away. I did. So I had to go deeper and make you feel worse and worse. I didn't like it, but it had to be done. Why now? What if things went wrong? Darius could have hurt you for real. Nobody's here to help us. I'm fast if you haven't noticed. And when would be a good time for this, Foxy? You hated me since the get-go, so it was easy to have you keep your cool around that kitty you wanted to maul at the cafeteria. Is that why I didn't flip out Atlas? But doesn't that mean you get it now? Without me, you have thrown your plate at that cat in the middle of the cafeteria. You already knew you were an equalizer? What the fuck, Fabian? This doesn't make sense. Are you for real? I didn't know shit. Since I was a kid, I had this thing about me taking away folks' anger. I thought it was from what I said or did. I didn't know I was doing a whole lot more than that. My life makes so much more sense now. Are you welcome, by the way? Anyway, this is our reality now. Get with it or get the fuck out of here. I don't have time to waste on either of you if you mess up this good thing I have going here. Darius is analyzing the situation, mumbling words for himself. His face is swinging from confused and cognizant, piecing together all the details of what happened. You made me hate you, Fabian. It was the worst feeling I have ever felt. D, I'm sorry, and I mean it, but it had to be done. Catherine says I need to keep both of you grounded if we're going to be in a confrontation at some point. So you tell us already what it is that you talked about with Catherine? My snide emphasis on the Jaguar's name makes Fabian's ears twist towards me. I'm struck a chord with that, and he's quick to show me obvious dislike. You best be careful who you choose to mock, Foxy. Either way, I'm going to be responsible for both of you in our little groups, so I have to tell you some basics. I see being favored by the headmistress of Tiernan has its benefits. Mr. Fawcett and Fabian have to have a lot in common for this to happen as fast as it did. The rabbit is stepping into the fur of a leader as if it's the most natural thing in the world for him to do. Equalize is working a group of three. Why? No idea. I didn't get the specifics on that when my brain was gasping for air from my recent coma. I know I couldn't feel bad about that, but it strings a ton. However, my pointing that out right now feels more like a jab rather than anything else. Get those ears up, Foxy. This is important. What's done is done, and I don't blame you for any of this. I was saying equalizers work in a group of three. Catherine was in a group with Astor and James. They disbanded when they took posts at different universities. That group was deep into TSG territory until they retreated due to James' partner being reported missing. When they kept me in Miss Revoltis' office, you can call her Catherine, you know, nobody's gonna care. Right. When I was in Catherine's office, there was a situation between the three teachers. I got the feeling it had something to do with James's partner. Well, you're not wrong. He was killed and devoured by. This short pause with Fabian looking straight at me gives me the most empty feeling in my stomach I've ever experienced in my life. Please let the next word be anything but the one I'm thinking of. Don't make things worse than they already are. I reached my tail and started stroking it, trying to soothe my thoughts. However, the word I didn't want to utter slips out of my mouth as if it needed to escape me here and now. Foxes. Foxes. How so? Dill's voice shakes me awake. I clutch my stomach and tense up my throat to prevent the feeling of nausea that's building inside them from overwhelming me. My legs are starting to wobble from the weight of what I heard. They were TSG extremists. It was a targeted attack. They found out who James was, and that was enough for them to get to Foxy. You right? Horses taste so damn good. And now everything that was trying to sit well in my stomach lies on the floor in front of me. The moment I heard that voice, I couldn't hold myself back anymore. I reached for something to grab onto. There was his paws grabbing me from behind, holding me steady. He struggled my back, I assume in an attempt to get me to calm down. I do feel a little better, though. Was it his aspect that did that? Yeah, I'm better now. Did you do something to me, dearest? I do not know. Maybe there are some towels here. Take them for, Thanks. I clean up the mess as fast as I can. There's a plastic bag in the corner of the room, so I wrap everything in it to keep the smell from getting out. This thing with the foxes hit me harder than I expected. I know I didn't do anything to James' partner, but my body was acting like I was there, like I had my maw into him, like I was the extremist. How did his voice know he was a horse, though? As much as I'd like to know the answer to that, I dread having it talk to me again. It hits hard, really hard. Some of my folk doing something like this, it's an awful feeling. What happens to Yummy. I vomited in my mouth again a little. Where's the water? Yeah. I can't say I get what that feels like. I do. There's plenty more of my folk that did way worse than whatever the foxes did. It's not a competition, D. I know. I'm saying I understand how it is. My mother told me to always stand proud of who I am now and never compare myself to what we lions were in the past. Yet somehow most of the richest folk in the world are carnivores. Go figure. It is not like I can change that, Fabian. We talked about this, and you know my feelings on the subject. It is also a good reason to become a cardinal, is it not? It is, D. Robin's face lights up a little, and he dares to stand on the top with carnivore situation. It's all reduced to physical power in the end. The ones who took when they could have it better now. It's not something that we don't learn about in school, but this topic is still a source of discord between folk. some lean towards understanding what happened while others throw a blanket of blame on the entire war. What's your take on this, Foxy? You're right. We have history to prove that for us. There's no way that things are close to fair now for any of the herbivores. That's a fact. But we also can't change the entire world. We can only change what's around us. You hear that, you piece of shit? You can only change what I can control, and that's me. You're not going to fuck up anything while I'm in control. I'll wait till you're not, my dear cowardly pup. It is nice to talk about something else for a while. Yeah, I can breathe a little. We're all settling down now. Each of us either on the floor or on a bed. Although I did sleep a lot in the past days, my body clock is telling me it's time to tuck in again. The strictness of Tierna's rules at work and the ingrained discipline that comes with it. Does anyone else feel like it should be lights out now? Yeah, that's about right. Look at the time. Lucien, I do not blame you for any of this, but you know I can never be a cardinal anymore. That's all I ever wanted to be. So you keep saying, D, you're a freaking equalizer now. Why are you thinking about something your dad chose for you? What's happening now is fate. The universe itself, the almighty Fur One, has chosen this for you. How can this not be more than everything you've ever wanted? It is not as simple as you make it out to be, Fabian. Even if my father chose my path, it is all I have known until today. Not everyone can jump ship as fast as you did. Fabian steps towards Darius, flinching from the pain from his leg. His bravado takes over, but not for long as a limp, and his stride grinds him to a halt. The adrenaline rush is over, and there's only one thing that's going to take over from now. Wow, this hurts. I'm so sorry, Fabian. Tired of that painting, Lucien. Ask for some medical supplies. Hello, Mr. Fosens, can you hear me? The silent stretches on for a few tense moments before the jackal replies to my calls with a begrudging tone. Her voice, while a former professional, reveals her reluctance and exasperation of having to talk to me again so soon. Yes, did anything happen? You didn't hear anything? Fabian and Darius had a small fight, and now Fabian's leg is scratched. Why were they fighting? Is anyone bleeding? I look at Fabian's leg, hoping not to pass out. I've never been good with blood around me, or even worse, from me. It's fortunate that it's only a flesh wound. Darius avoided hurting him as much as he could, but he still got a good swipe in by the looks of it. Now, he scratched up a little. Then why aren't you using the medical supplies in the room? There obviously had to be someone in a safe room. How else could one... Never mind. She hung up and closed the channel, I think. I don't feel bad about asking though. She should have told us about the medical supplies herself. Or the other two teachers should have at least mentioned them in passing. They're adults here. After scanning the room in more detail, I spot the first aid kit on top of the bookshelf I had used as my safety fort not long ago. Hey, we should spot Darius. What I thought was only a basic grasp of first aid between us, we managed to patch up Fabian's leg. In reality, it's Darius who takes charge cleaning and dressing the wound. He's meticulous about each step, ensuring the bandages are secure but not too tight. Watching him work, I'm impressed by his steady pause and focused demeanor. The wound looks as professional as it could be tended to by the time he's done, given our current circumstances. You get at this. It is part of our studies. Carlos might be more on the psychological side, but general knowledge of first aid is required. did a fine job. His leg looks like it got the best treatment. Sorry again, Fabian. With the love of the third one, will you stop it already? You did it 'cause I made you do it. I kinda had it coming. I'm surprised I didn't dodge that one though. I'm faster than you might think. Despite my stocky physique, I'm still feline. We could work on those reflexes now that you're done with lifting books. I do not want to leave that all of a sudden. If I do not have to, there is much I could learn even if it would not be for a cardinal position. That's right, we should talk about this group thing. What's up with that? What we should be doing is go to bed. We've been messing around. It's much later than lights out. I'm sure we'll talk a whole lot about this kind of stuff from now on. Yes, sir. Right, off the bed then. Shouldn't we eat something first? It's too late for that now. We have a big breakfast in the morning to start the day right. Good night, guys. The Lions expresses one of other side a grumpy look that's unmistakable even if he's trying to hide it now that we've noticed his reaction. Fabian, in contrast, seemed to wear a mask of contemplation, his eyes chased by fatigue and deep thought. Despite my own lingering hunger, we all settle down with the night, each of us aware that tomorrow marks a new beginning in our journey as equalizers. We all say goodnight, the silence of the room taking over. Yeah, I feel a sense of solidarity. We are all in this together, each carrying our own burdens and hopes into the unknown of tomorrow. We're going to be fine. We're stronger together. Of course we are. No. Stay away from us. Good night and stay tight, little fox. Listen, are you still awake? Darius' whispered voice wakes me up. His face is right over mine, startling me again. His smile is cute, but now is taking on an almost predatory quality, as if he's about to pounce. The mixture of endearment and alarm that steals inside me is a challenge at this hour. How late is it even? Why aren't you sleeping? I let out a large, involuntary yawn. The lines on ease crosses his face and revealing his misplaced expectations. Did he really think I wasn't sleeping? Can't be. I wanted to ask if you would like to lay next to me. I could not seem to be able to fall asleep. My eyes moved towards the bed where Fabian sprawled out with his distinctive floppy ears blade relaxed on one of the pillows. Wouldn't it be awkward with Fabian seeing us? What would he think? Do not worry yourself about this. I will wake us up before Fabian. Judging by how the day went, I think he will sleep a lot longer. A high-pitched short burst of snoring coming over from Fabian's bed do confirm Darius' theory. The guilt I have for putting Darius and Fabian through this is enough as it is, regardless if they were supposed to be equalizers and follow this inevitable path. Things could have unfolded so much more differently, perhaps even gentler, had they been allowed to discover their destinies in their own time and way. I shouldn't agree to Darius' request out of guilt, but I kinda have to, at least for this night. He's been through enough. But make sure you wake us up early, okay? Of course. I don't think this is helping him, though. He should talk to someone professional about his need to have someone in bed with him. I'm more or less an oversized plus toward him. Darius' massive paws grasp mine, and I get pulled out of my bed with a hint of force behind the action. His total disregard for personal boundaries in these moments tells a story of its own. I can only assume he hasn't had a great childhood, as we all might think he had, likely far from the idyllic image painted by the prestige of the Vital's name. I do not have to hug you if you The hooky, if that makes you feel uncomfortable again. It's fine, I have that under control now. I barely finished the sentence when the lion's massive paws circled around my back, pulling me into his embrace. It does feel comfortable, and I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it as well. I need this just as much as he does. The safety and warmth are both letting me sink into the lion's fur, a real sign of relaxation and trying to sleep again. A moment of bittersweet realization almost ruins the mood. He's not the one I would have chosen to be next to me after such a day. But I pushed it away, pulling Darius's paws closer to me. I hear a voice calling me. I force my eyes open and see Fabian standing next to the bed. His whiskers are bouncing up and down from the irritated expression he has plastered across his face. What's going on here? I try to get up to explain and remove myself from the awkwardness, but Darius is still hanging on to me. He didn't let me go the entire night, quite surprising that I didn't mind sleeping in that one position. So much exhaustion for yesterday's event showing up in today's morning. So care to explain? Actually, Fabi, I think it's best if Darius does. Might be that my tone was more assertive than usual, or the fact that I call him Fabi, but the rabbit turns around, annoyed and a bit embarrassed if I had to guess, waves me off. Whatever, get up already. I nudged Darius, hoping to wake him up, but in response he grabs hold of me, even tighter, pulling me back into his embrace. Darius, wake up. Darius, wake up. Fabian wants to talk to you. Stay. Please, Oris. Fabian and I heard that loud and clear. The rabbit freezing mid-step for half a second, flicking his ears towards Darius and me in case there's more to come for the slumbering lion. Hey, Darius! I make it a point to be as loud as I can while pushing Darius's paws out, freeing myself from the toy status I had brought upon myself last night. The lion yawns long, with his tongue out and with his big, sharp, and quite scary set of fangs. Good morning. What time is it? Ask Fabian. Fabian, what time is it? It takes a while until Darius registers the situation, but now that he's scrambling to explain himself. I know how this looks, but it is not what you think, Fabian. What's it like then? Because it looks to me like you two were cuddling after a night of what I can assume was some quiet sex. Are you not a motor foxy? Okay, no, that's definitely not it. He's actually right about that part. But why am I being pulled into Darius's issues? The few moments of silence break, and as the lion adjusts his voice, preparing a better worded explanation more suited to his style. As I was saying, this is not something that has been going on. I have some, let's call them needs I have to take care of. Your choice of words could be better, D. Look, I don't care if you two are humping. At least I wouldn't care if we wouldn't be in a freaking group of equalizers and one of us wouldn't have 1,000 aspects. Can either of you see the issue here? Oh my fur, Darius needs to sleep next to someone or he can't sleep properly. There, it's out in the open now. And who's Horus, by the way? The mission of Horus is a visible sock for the lion. He's trying hard to figure out how I couldn't know that name. You said Horus in your sleep a few moments ago. Who is he? I have no choice then. He saw us looking around as if to find an exit to flee from the situation. The only way out would be the door next, which is locked tight. Fabian and I are waiting, watching Darius, who is trying his best not to look as embarrassed as he does. Well, get on with it. All right. Horus is the son of the butler we have back home at the mansion. I asked him to sleep with me one time when I was not feeling well. it became a thing, and I did not stop until I left home. He was okay with this. I could sense that it was uncomfortable for him, so I started paying him to do it. You pay a dude to sleep with you? Your tone implies I did something wrong. I do not think I did. I got his money and I could sleep. There was never any type of sexual desire behind my intention to simply sleep. Judge me if you want, friends, but I will not be ashamed of wanting to feel someone close to me. Why would we judge? Do you know why you need to do this though? Did something happen when you were a cub? Stop treating me like that. I know exactly why I want to sleep with someone. From the many therapists I have seen, your impression of one is the worst. I opened my mouth to respond, but then paused, realizing that I did treat him as some sort of damaged kid just now. Sorry. It is the same old cliche, rich parents with no time for their children. Then they then throw money at their kids and hope that is enough to fill all of their needs. I didn't have my parents around either, but I didn't need to pay for stuff like that. How can you even compare this? I'm sorry your parents left, but mine were there and they still treated me like a stranger. You had siblings around to make you feel wanted and loved. My younger brother is a copy of my father. My mother is too far gone in her own world to notice me. You could try being more empathetic, Fabian. We don't all process everything like you do. Fabian's eyebrows arched upwards, a hint of a smirk on the corners of his mouth. I'm starting he's cooking up some acidic comeback. You're right. Say right now, I shouldn't consider my own past experiences as a measuring standard. We're all different after all. Some of us very much so. I did not have a better option. Horace also kept asking for more money. The older we got, the more he wanted. I told myself that it was the only way for me to be okay. So, there it is. The story of Horace and my sleeping needs. Quite the different explanation than what I was expecting. I wasn't sure if he was into other guys. Now I know he wants to sleep with someone for the sake of sleeping. That's all. No other funny stuff. That's okay, Darius. You could have told me the first time you asked me to sleep with you. It is embarrassing as it is. I did not want to have to share this, but now we are here together and everything will be different anyway. So it is best that you both know my quirks, if you will. Does this mean we have to take turns sleeping with you? If you are joking, Fabian, I'm not laughing. But I would not mind it if you wanted to sleep next to me from time to time. As group leader, I have to take care of my own. So if you need me to be there for you, D, I will. But you do know you should talk to someone about this. About the leader thing. You prefer it to be you, Foxy? I didn't say that. Knowing why you're in charge is what I'm asking here. Ask Catherine. She probably heard us talking anyway. I forgot about that. Reflecting on it tough. I have to admit. Reflecting on it tough. Reflecting on it though. I have to admit she did make the right choice. And grappling with my own chaos. And Darius just told us, I bet in a subtle way, that he's dealing with enough emotional trauma to fill one of his massive textbooks. I guess we're both not in the best place to lead, and I don't know if either of us even want to, in all honesty. It's okay. You should be our group leader. I hardly know what's going on with me as it is, and both Darius and I respect you. It's obvious he's uneasy with what I said. His whiskers doing the bouncing again, and his eyes betray how uncomfortable he is behind his composed facade. I asked for some food. We should get some breakfast. Food, yes. Ask for a bigger portion for me. Will you, Fabian? Sure thing, D. For a while, in no time, Kieran being extra generous with the portions for everyone, the wolf was digging around, inspecting the room as if to find something out of place. How are you all doing this morning? Has anything happened since yesterday? No, nothing. Why? I don't know. Nothing strange. Maybe hearing voices. How do you know about that? I guess Mr. Folgers would keep this to herself, or at least share it with Astor as James. However, given that Kieran is his assistant, it makes sense he's informed as well. Part of me wishes he didn't though. He seems like a good guy, and I'd rather he didn't see me through the lens of ever mountain problems that seem to cling to me like moss after a starting rain. Mr. Folgers instructed me to ask about this, so yes, I know. I need to ask again. Are you hearing voices? Are you now? No, and it was only one anyway. It's about hearing voices. What are you telling us, Foxy? I will explain everything once we're done eating. I'll leave you to it then, and keep your ears up. Everything will be fine. Enjoy your food. The wolf offers us a reassuring smile, checking his schedule as he walks out and closes the door behind him. The noise of the locks smashing together is a harsh reminder that we are still prisoners here, all because of me. We start eating, Darius gobbling up as much as he can in one bite, true to his lion nature. Guys, it's my turn to explain myself. You're next, Fabian. Why? I didn't say or do anything weird like you guys. Oh no. You're not getting out of this one, Fabian. I guess I can tell you guys some stuff. So, voices? Story time. How fun. I think there's one aspect who's talking to me. You already know I have 1,000 of them, or had. I think one of them keeps saying stuff to me, not the nicest of things. I was scared at first, but up to now, it only made me run away that night when I went missing from the dorm. Immediately once, not to mention the head trip I got from the illusions it sold me, but they don't need to know that yet. I'll share it with them when I figure out how to handle it, when I'm in control. Mentioning this now would complicate things even more, and I need to deal with one thing at a time. You guys have one aspect as one should. Seems I won a lottery, I didn't know I was even playing it. More like you're the only one who lost and we all won. I guess so. Oh, don't be so dramatic. You got me right here. If that doesn't make you a winner, what does? This voice is also super annoying, like a dumb high schooler who craves attention. Mock me all you want, pup. Let's see who has the last laugh. Damn annoying. Nothing else, though. Doesn't sound bad, still concerning, but you're Mr. 1000, so stuff around you is bound to be weird, right? Story of my life. So, jacket means aspect? Yep. Jacket means aspect. I mean light. Yep. Jacket means aspect. I said light. I didn't know what aspects were, but it still got blurred out. I knew there was something more there. You're still on that cycle thing. At least it does make sense now. Speaking of making sense, what's the deal with the kitty? Why was he a problem? Out with it. There's no need to hide anything anymore. We're diving deep now, unearthing our truths right to the bone. Might as well. Alright. Let's see. Atlas is an old acquaintance of mine. We grew up together in Aurora, my hometown. Folk in school, and not only used to bully me for my weird eyes. First day at school, they broke my glasses and called me a freak. Atlas made it his mission to defend me. He always kept the bullies away. We drifted apart in high school. Everyone left me alone because they heard the stories of Atlas being all hardcore mode on some students or some kids once. So anyway, one day during last summer vacation, I was running out of energy, so I needed to absorb an aspect. Catherine told me about this. This happened to me as well, but things got better after I slept with Horace. Oh, I get it now. As I was saying, I needed to absorb an aspect, and I saw Atlas going home. Some chit-chat later, I went to his place to play video games, and we ended up having sex. So that night with me, we got hard. Foxy got hard in bed next to you. I wish Fabian hadn't heard that part. He's going to ruin my life with that little piece of information. I can feel the burns coming considering his ever-widening smile. I'll never hear the end of that, will I? Hell no, Woody. Oh, my fur. Please, let's keep it to Foxy at least. Will do. Wacky. Leave him be, Fabian. Although he's trying to be nice about it, Darius's ear-to-ear grin betrays his sympathy for my embarrassment. At least we're all having a laugh, even if it's at my expense. That night with you, Darius, was unfortunate timing on my part. Are you attracted to me, Lucien? Oh boy, there's no more backing out now. Let's get this over with. Physically, yes I am. You're a good-looking guy, but you're not into me, so that's good considering our situation right now. Well, I do not think I am like that with anyone. I was not like that even with Horace. Are you saying you've never done anything sexually? That's correct. I've never had the urge or feeling to do any of that. It never clicked for me as it has for others. Oh, buddy, you definitely missed it out. I do not think I am. It does not feel like something I need to spend my time on. Answer me now? Darius and Fabian turned to me again. Although I should have let that discussion play out, did I just do that because their attention was gone from me? No, couldn't be. I'm not like that. Am I? Sorry for sounding all needy, but I want to finish with everything. You're alright. Continue, please. Where was I? You shoved off the kitty? I covered my face with exasperation, pulling on my whiskers. I knew he wouldn't be able to stop himself, but he can get very annoying very fast. We had sex and I absorbed his spirit. It has come. There, I made the joke for you. Can you set it from now on? Why do you even ask me to tell you about this if all you want to do is make jokes? That made him feel uncomfortable enough that he straightened his face from the joker attitude he had. Get it together, wannabe team leader. That's what I'd like to say, but not this time. No more interruptions, at least. Alice told me it was a mistake what we did the next time I saw him. A day later, he proposed to his girlfriend. It was the same evening I was celebrating at a restaurant with my parents I got into Tiernan. Yeah, the dude had a girlfriend and I knew about her. Don't look at me like that. I thought they were broken up or something, for Atlas to be okay with what we were doing. Atlas kept trying to get into contact with me the rest of the summer, but I think I did the right thing to cut him out of my life. He even said he likes my eyes. Those words meant so much to me in that moment. There's a tear hanging on one of my whiskers, while the others are dripping on my t-shirt, on my fur. I can't even notice anymore when I'm crying. No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to get over this Atlas thing. I want him, but I also hate him. No, Foxy, don't sweat it, okay? That kitty is a total moron who doesn't know a good thing even if it hit him straight in the snout. You will meet better folk, Lucien. I'm certain there will be one who will treat you with proper respect like you deserve. The messed up thing is, I think he meant it, but he also didn't act on it. I also miss him, although I know I shouldn't. Silence hangs heavy in the air. Neither Darius nor Fabian has anything to add to that. I guess they didn't go through something like this yet. Love can be a bitter pill to swallow. Or sometimes it just flat out sucks. So, my turn now. That's a welcome divergence. The last thing I want is to be seen as a perpetual sob story. Seems like I've been nothing but a bundle of tears for the better part of a few days. You already know my parents left when I was young. It sucked. Really fucking much. I can't possibly overstate how hard it was. They just took off one day without warning. Then again, how do you warn your kids about something like that? When one of my brothers asked me what's for breakfast, I became an adult then and there. I was no longer a kid. I couldn't be. We needed food and money to pay bills, so I got a job the same day. My initial instinct was to quit school, but then I heard about the elite program at Tiernan and its benefits. With that money, I could help my siblings. So I did both. School in the morning, working in the evening. A few long years later, here I am, locked in a room by a needy lion and a lame fox. Ever so elegant for you. What? It's true. Is it so bad to have friends? Falcon's smug look switches to a more solemn one. It's a fleeting transformation, but in that brief moment, the mask he wears slips, revealing a glimpse of the weight he's been carrying. It's in the slight downturn of his mouth, the subtle softening of his eyes, is fascinating and a little heartbreaking to see such vulnerability for someone who always seems so sure of himself. In the midst of our strange, fractured little group, I realized there's a depth to Fabian and hadn't appreciated it full before. Here we are, each struggling our own battles, however different they might all be. Nah, I didn't mean it like that. It's more like, I don't get you. You keep acting like such a badass, but you're not like that at all. Just because I told you stuff about my parents doesn't make you an expert of who I am. This was dumb anyway. We're stuck here for who knows how long because the fox can't get his shit together. That's not nice of you, Fabian. You're getting worked up over nothing. You both don't know anything about me other than what I saw you. You can take that judgmental crap and shove it up your asses. Alright, we don't know anything about you. How does this make anything better? You're the leader of a team that doesn't know you. Also, for a guy who told me I would find someone else in my life and be loved, you sure jumped to extremes. You should get yourself checked. I'm not going to ease on D, but I'll put your face where your feet are if you keep running your mouth. This is heading in the wrong direction. We're trying to have a bonding moment. Can we please do that? Bobby waves Darius off, heading to his bed. Darius tries to say something else, but it falls on deaf ears, however big they might be. I can make out the nuances of frustration on Darius' face as he attempts again to reason with the rabbit, but gives up once he's reached his own level of annoyance with the situation. We may be together in this, but our bond is fragile enough to break under the strain of pushing too hard when we don't know each other all that well. All of this was dumped onto us, and now we're going to have to figure it out, although we're so different from one another. The next days we spoke less than a few words to each other. The initial issue with me ruining Darius' life as a cardinal was water under the bridge. Fabian, though, another matter altogether. This morning's no different from the past days. He's snappy, like he wants to be annoyed with everything and everyone as if that would make me or Darius be somehow nicer to him. Fabian's a good guy underneath all that solid act, but he sure is an asshole as well. The walls he created around himself need to break open if we're going to make this work between us three. The monotonous and much too droll day is at least interrupted by the door opening, Miss Folger stepping in with her usual air of authority. She takes in the atmosphere of the room, missing nothing and assessing the situation at a glance. As a seasoned team leader, Mr. Folger is adept at addressing such dynamics, and her presence brings new energy to the room. She addresses us with a spark of hope in her tone, all the while maintaining her firm look on all of us. Good morning, students. We've been monitoring you for a while now. If there's anything that might happen, then it will happen. We can't account for everything. We also can't keep you here forever. Instead, we decided for your training to start. Miss Janara, you will be with Mr. Janara, you will be with me. Mr. Flytrolls, you will go study with Mr. Hefferwood, and Mr. Lopez, you will first start with Mr. Trailblaze. What do you mean first? We don't know what you equalize. You have 1,000 aspects. Do we need to go through this type of explanation every time I ask you to do something? it should be clear by now, while we all don't know what you're capable of. We, the teachers here, might have a better understanding of the situation. Right, sorry. Everyone out. Go back to your dorm rooms. You were written up as being sick and have recovered in the infirmary. That's your story if anyone asks. To be clear, you cannot, under any circumstances, tell anyone about this room or anything else that has transpired here. We are now without so much as a peep. She keeps her gaze on us, her intimidating eyes unblinking, making sure we care for the intensity demands of us. Understood? Good. Now follow me. Even if we tell anyone about equalizers, it would be jumbled up nonsense. This room, though, that might be something they want to keep hidden from the public. It's not a big surprise that uni like Tiernan has a safe room, but folk might wonder why there would be a need for one in the first place. We leave the room, stepping into bright lights. There's a long hallway with multiple rooms on both sides of it. Perhaps these are all safe rooms. They don't have windows, so I can't see anything inside them, but I suspect they're copies of the room we were in all this time. I did wonder how only one room would be useful in case of any possible danger. Where would all the thousands of other students go? Once we reach the door at the end of the hallway, we step into the actual university. Is linked to the main hall, in plain sight, with a sign on top saying staff only. There's no handle on the door from this side, though. I expected some sort of underground exit or anything more interesting than this. As anticlimactic as this is, at least we're out now, and that's what is the most important part in all this. Free at last. Free at last. Thank you for reading. There's more to come here at Tiernan University. This is the end of Chapter 5. We're already working hard on Chapter 6. Remember to share and support us on Patreon for more high-quality visual novels and join the community at our Discord server. Finally, thank you to everyone who made this bill possible. And so Fabian is very much happy about him no longer being an elite and being an equalizer instead, or at least that's what he seems to be. He seems to be happy. I mean, maybe there's something about him deep inside, but he seems to be very happy about him being an equalizer now. Well, Darius very much is not happy. He clearly is not happy with being an equalizer, because that means that his studies as a cardinal is over. Because it's something he wanted to be. And I think he mentioned that only 5 in 1,000 students, I think, ever become a cardinal. I think that's what he said. So, and keep in mind, he's not even an elite student. He's not an elite student. He's still struggling. So, to be honest, I don't think he will have really gotten to, I don't think he would have made it at all as being able to graduate by being a cardinal. That is almost impossible for him to achieve. So I think he had more success as an equalizer, but he still doesn't want to give up on being a cardinal, which is way more impossible for him to do. Okay, so the voice kept encouraging Lucien to eat people, and it seemed like he especially wanted Lucien to eat Fabian. And he wants Lucien to reach his full potential as a carnivore. Again, it means that Lucien will have to eat people. And that's something that he does not want to happen. So this voice very much is a bad person or thing. So like I said, at the end of the update, it seemed that the voice in Lucien's head managed to free itself. So if that's the case, and he gets to go around and eat people, that's gotta be bad. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but it seems to be that. Okay, so over here on the Patreon and Ko-fi, these two you can use if you want to support the visual novel and the merch as well. And if you want to learn more about the VN and connect with others as well as the dev, you go to the Discord. So Darius has an issue. It seems that for him to sleep every night, he needs somebody to hug him, have some physical intimacy. Now it's nothing sexual, but just to be with somebody that helps him go to sleep. Now he's the son of a wealthy family, like a billionaire family. This company that deals with transportation. His father and his mother were too busy to deal with him, so he never got any attention or affection from them, really. So he would get that from his butler's son. And certainly that's caused him to have a need to have somebody by him when he goes to sleep. And I'm not sure it has something to do with his aspect or something like that, but yeah, it seems like he can't really sleep if nobody is there for him to cuddle with. So yeah, that's a big problem Darius has. And my cat makes him kind of cute. He doesn't cute when he has somebody to cuddle with. So yeah, so okay, so that's all for Light My Way. Thank y'all very much for watching. Bye.